everyone, welcome to week 17 of the Actual Vision weekly TT event. This week takes place at Donnington GP track, driving the Ginetta LMP3 car. This one was a real tricky one. I expected this car to handle a lot different to what it did. I'm not, at this stage, I'm not really happy with the lap that I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to probably end up going back and trying to improve it and work on the setup more, and I'll probably end up posting that setup into the video into the Discord as an unlisted video, just so you guys can check that out once it's done. But the trouble with this car was I expected it to have a little bit more aero downforce than what it has. With it being not that powerful, it's only like 400 horsepower. With the grip that I expected it to have with the aero, etc., I expected it to be a lot easier to drive, but it wasn't so. We managed to put an okay-ish lap up, but I really wasn't 100% happy with it. The setup again needs a lot of work, so I spent quite a while trying to work this car out, and it's a car, one of the first times I've been baffled by a car and trying to get it the way I want it to handle. I mean, it's bound to happen eventually that you'd find something that you didn't like. I do like LMP2 cars, though. That's a real strange thing. It's one of my favourite cars when I've driven the LMP2s, but this is just really strange. So I'm going to let you have a look at the lap in full speed, and then we'll come back and try and do a guide in slow motion. As you can see there, the lap wasn't the worst possible lap, but there can be improvements. So we're going to look at the lap now. Going into turn 1, you want to get yourself over to the left hand side, but be careful how soon you do that, or you will invalidate the lap. Widen the angle as much as you can, going down into third gear, try and trail brake into the corner, so we slowly release the brake pedal. And then we didn't get on the power early enough, and also we got a little bit of oversteer. It just seemed to be really random, that oversteer. Sometimes I could do it without an oversteer, and we've actually done this about 2 times faster. We've had the ghost well in the rear at this point, so we lost out quite a bit on that first corner. You'll probably notice if anyone races the ghost, you'll pull away from my ghost there. Then down into this tricky right-hander, you need to widen the angle by getting that left-hand tyre onto that blue and white curve as much as you can, and then really widen it so you can straight line out this corner as much as you can. You can see, again, I got that rear left-hand tyre onto the gravel, which slowed me down all the way up the hill now. Really frustrating. Then down into third gear, again, I didn't widen the angle enough for this right hand. I should have really came in a wider angle and got more exit speed. I have done it on other laps, and I've been coming up to it. I'll show you in a second how far ahead. But into this right hander, braking on that board, the right hand board there, downshift into third gear and accelerate all the way through this corner. Don't lift too you want to be patient before you put the throttle on in a way, but you've got to be on very early as well. It's such a hard corner to get right. We've had the ghost well in our mirror at this point, probably about 4 attempts behind, so there's such a big improvement we've made. Then braking on that board we just went past, down into third gear. I like to brake early for this corner rather than late, just so you can try and lower the angles that you've got to take through them corners. If you brake late, you're going to make the angle really sharp and the rear is going to step out. So just try and brake a little bit earlier than what you think, and you'll get a faster exit speed. Then braking in between them two boards on the left hand side, down into second gear, and again you want to try and get a nice tight line through this corner and get the car straightened off as early as possible so you can get on that power. Again, we didn't straighten it off perfectly, but we did it okay, and we've got the ghost in the mirror there. Then coming into the last corner, you want to brake just before that board on the right hand side, down into second gear, and try and just make sure you don't carry too much speed that you run wide. You're going to see how now we start to run wide, and then I have to put a lot of steering angle in, and that's not what you want when you're trying to get on the power. As you can see, the rear starts stepping out where the tyres are giving up on me, and they're saying they can't handle that, and we lose a fraction of time there as well. So there is a lot of time to come off this, and that's why I feel like I'm going to do another lap and push this a bit further, because I really wasn't happy with the lap or the setup. Really, the setup, I'm going to explain now what I'm talking about. So in terms of the base of the setup, the tyre pressures, the brake balance and the brake pressures, they all felt reasonably okay. The aero, I don't have an issue with the aero. The camber angles, I think that's the area where I'm going to try a little bit higher and go higher on them camber angles. The suspension, I had to put it really stiff. If I tried to make it softer, the car just wouldn't play what I wanted. It just wouldn't do what I wanted to do for the corners. This setup was really tricky to drive. I'm going to tell you now. It just steps out on you sometimes, but it felt like the fastest way to get around the lap. And this is all about time trial, this weekly TT event. So I obviously wanted to try and get the car as fast as you can. Possibly there is a lot that can be done within the rebounds and the damper settings to really just get rid of the bumpiness off the track and still maintain quite a stiff car. So maybe that's something we'll do when we come back to this track and have a little look maybe on the weekend. Obviously no traction control on this car, no ABS, so you do not get to adjust. Even if you adjust them, it won't do nothing in time trial. Power, the coast, I had that on the lowest set and it really did help. It just helps stabilise the car slightly. Power ramp on 65. I played with this so much into different settings, but I found the preload was the most effective way of trying to get a bit of grip when getting on the accelerator there. You could probably up that even more, or if you're finding it a bit restricting, lower that down. But just to warn you, this car does like to step out on you quite randomly, and this track is so strict on the track penalties that you just really need to be careful when driving this car, because you really want to get the most out of your lap. It's going to frustrate you guys. It frustrated me quite a lot, and I was only doing it for a few hours. If anyone is going to be putting in a lot of time on this, they're going to get quite frustrated. So anyway guys, I hope you enjoyed this week's time trial. I'm going to try and get back to this and see if I can improve the setup and get our time down into a 1 minute 21, 21.7 or 8, something like that, and I think I'll be happy. I think the potential is at least a low 21. I think there is a potential to get a 21.3 to 5 on this track with this car. So hopefully someone will do that. I'm sure someone will. Anyway guys, hope you enjoyed the video, hope you enjoyed the car and track combination, and we'll be back with more videos very soon. Thanks again for watching.